We have been to 10 adults only, all inclusive resorts in the Cancun area. So, in this video, I'm going to rank these resorts from our least favorite to our favorite, along with the average price per night. And if you're new to our channel, 3 Days and Tres Noches is not a travel vlog or a travel agency. We just bring you honest, to the point reviews and information about the travel destinations that we go to. So just keep in mind that these ratings are based on what we prefer when we go on vacations, what might be different for you. And we also do full reviews on almost all of these resorts. So you can find those on our channel for more in depth information about the pros and cons of each resort. Starting with number one being our least favorite was the Blue Bay Grand Esmeralda. Now, I always try to find some positives about the resort. This one was a little hard. There were a few, though. The room, I would say, is one positive. Also, at night, there was a nice, lively crowd, but the beach was the worst beach I'd ever seen, ever been to. Not their fault, just where they're located. The food was not great. The cocktails were not great. The pools were kind of dirty and it was hard to get seats. So it was not the best experience. However, it was the most affordable that we had been to. So for two people, it averages, I would say, around $150 per night. But again, the saying, you get what you pay for, was real at the Blue Bay. Number two was the Iberostar Selection Lindo. And I know some people swear by this resort. Now, I have to say, we went in the middle of COVID and we got some crazy deal to go there for 2 nights. It was like $425 per person with airfare. So we got a really crazy deal and we only went for 2 nights. So I don't know if it's the fairest assessment. In fact, we didn't even do a review on our channel because I didn't think it was going to be a fair assessment. But there were not a ton of positives. Our room was not that clean and the food wasn't good. And they didn't really have much nightlife and the drinks weren't that great. So the only thing good about this resort was the beach when we went. Number three is Haven. And we went there right when it opened. I'm going to say it was weeks after it had just opened and it was before starting this channel. In fact, it's one of the reasons why we did start this channel because we just felt that the reviews did not really reflect the experience. Now, again, we went there right when it opened, which is usually the worst time to go at a resort because they're trying to work kinks out. The food was not edible at times. It was beautiful though, but also the beach is not good there. So you may have had a different experience since then. We'd love to hear your comments, drop them below. But for us, it wasn't that great. Now, number four is Breathless Riviera Resort and Spa. And this one actually has a lot of positives about it. But for us, the beach is one of the most important things when we're on vacation. And the beach was terrible when we were there, which was in June. Now, they say that it does clear up like January through March, but even then, it really wasn't the type of beach experience that we like. Also, the pools felt a little dirty, they were warm. And then they have that crazy party vibe pool that was just a little too crazy for me. But they really did have a fun vibe at night. The service was great. I would say like the food was average. Now, the price, again, I would consider this a more affordable option. You could do this for between like $300 and $400 for two people per night, all inclusive. Number five is the Majestic, Elegance in Costa, Mujeres. And actually, we had a really great experience here, but the biggest issue is that it's not truly adults only. So they have a family side, they have an adults only side, but the adults only pool is very little. And then at night, you're mingling with all of the families. So if you're looking for that adults only experience, you're not going to find that here. The beach is really great. The food, I would say, is average. They have some good nightlife. So I might return here with my kids because there was a lot of things I did like about it, but not as an adults only experience. Number six is the Grand at Moon Palace, which I've actually been there 3 times, but with my family, not as an adults only experience. And I've seen that they are kind of marketing this resort to be adults only, and it's not at all. They have an adults only section. But other than that, you're going to be mingling with families. Now, there are a lot of great things about this resort. Again, we do a review on this, but the beach is not good here. The pools are great and the food is great and they have a lot of activities, but I would say as an adult only experience, it would not be your first choice. Okay, so now we're getting to some of our favorite adults only all inclusive resort experiences. And number seven is the Barcelo Maya Riviera. And I'm actually surprised that we did like it so much because we went during COVID as well. But the views from the room are insane. That's one of my favorite things. It's also very clean. I loved how many pools they had. There was always chairs around the pool. You never had to worry about saving seats. Also on the beach, there's plenty of chairs. And the beach wasn't my favorite experience, but it was really beautiful and walkable. And the food, again, was about average. I did like the buffet downstairs, but the cocktails were great. And we actually love this resort so much. We're going to go back in November to do an updated review for you guys. Also, we got an insane deal. So, something that this resort does as well, if you get on their email list, they will have really crazy deals like during Memorial Day weekend, President's Day weekend. And for 3 nights, all inclusive, we got just a standard room for about $750 for 2 people. The only other downside about this resort is that it's about an hour and 40 minutes from the airport. So, with all of that construction and traffic that's going on in Cancun right now, it might not be the best choice. Now, I'm hoping by November when we go, some of that will subside. But again, we're going to give you the update then. So number 8 is the Sun Palace. I've actually been here twice. And I think I love most that it's in the hotel zone. So it has those amazing beaches with that turquoise water. It has nice waves. The water can get a little rough, but I'm used to that from being on the East Coast. Also, love that it's so close to the airport. And since we travel just for usually 3 nights, it's so easy to get to. And I love all the views from the room. And I would just say overall, I just really like this resort, love the layout. A few downsides, if you are a pool person, you really have to get up and save seats. They do not have near enough seating for the activity pool. Also, the food at night is just average. They have some good buffets in the morning, but the food is not, the best, which is a little surprising for a palace resort. Also, that sales pitch, they're trying to get you, to buy the membership, which is always a little bit annoying at the palace resorts. Now, being in the hotel zone, it is going to be pricier. It averages around $500 to $700 per night for 2 people. Also, it depends on when you go. Sometimes it can be more. I don't think it gets much less than that. And if you're a member, obviously the rates are a little bit less than that as well. Now for our top 2 favorite adults only all-inclusive experiences, and it was really hard to pick because each resort had something different that we loved about them. Also, there's so many more resorts that we want to experience. So, we would love to hear in the comments places that you've been that we should go and do reviews on. I know Secrets is a big one on our list. I know the Hyatt has a great experience, Live Aqua. There's so many down there to try. So, would love to hear some of your experiences as well in the comments. So number 9 was LeBlanc, and I know I'm hearing this gasp right now, like, "What? That should be number 1," because it is rated the number 1 adults only all-inclusive resort in Cancun. Now, if you've watched my review, you know why it's not our number 1 choice, but I really have to say that it was one of the best experiences that we've ever had at an all-inclusive resort. The food was outstanding, the drinks were amazing, the service was off the chart. I loved the size of the resort. And there really wasn't having to save seats or anything along those lines. The biggest issue for me was that it was just too tranquil. They didn't have enough nightlife and they didn't really have a party vibe at all. And that's something that I definitely look for when I go on vacation. Now, thankfully, it is located right in the hotel zone. In fact, it's walking distance to the nightlife. So we were able to go off very easy, very safely, and still have an amazing time. Now, LeBlanc is definitely one of the most expensive adults only inclusive resorts that we've been to, averaging around $1,000 to $2,000 per night, depending on when you go and what room you pick. It can even be more than that. But with that, you get a guaranteed excellent service, excellent food, excellent experience. So now for our favorite adults only all-inclusive experience so far, that is the Excellence in Playa Mujeres. Now, we definitely liked the beach experience way better at Sun Palace and LeBlanc and in the hotel zone. However, we just liked the vibe so much better at the Excellence. They had so many different things going on at night, so many different activities, and it wasn't a crazy party vibe, but you could still party and have a great time there. And even though it definitely needs some updates, I loved our room. I love the two-story room with the views and the private plunge pool. So I definitely love that. And just loved the layout overall of this resort. Now, it definitely had opportunities just like every other resort does But again, when I'm comparing all the different ones that we've been to, this one had almost everything that we loved. I love that it was so close to Isla Mujeres too, so you could just jump on a boat and go right over there. With that being said, we are very excited to keep trying some more resorts because I know that there is that perfect adults only all inclusive resort out there that will want to keep me coming back over and over again. Now, price wise, it's definitely on the higher end. So it's a little bit more than Sun Palace, but not as much as LeBlanc. So it's hard to compare LeBlanc and Excellence just because of the price difference. But I would say for the price and for everything that you get and the overall experience, Excellence by Harris was so far our favorite. And I just wanted to comment about the pricing because you truly do get what you pay for when it comes to an all inclusive resort. So if you are going to go for the $100 to $300 per night for two people, then you're going to expect a lower quality experience. The more you pay, in general, not always true, but in general, you're going to get better quality, better service, and an overall better experience. So just pay a little bit extra more. You're already going on vacation to have a better experience. I hope you found this video helpful, and that probably means that you are looking for an adults only all inclusive resort to go to in Cancun. So make sure you check out the full reviews that we do on these resorts. And if you have any questions, you can always put them in the comments below. I do respond to all comments and questions. And again, if you've been to a really good adults only all inclusive resort, can you please drop those in the comments below because we are excited to keep trying more in the Cancun area as well.